Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on Journey to Wholeness. I am Jalen and it is 2023. New year, same God. New goals, same God. And as you can see, the title of today's video is Salty. Are you salty? In today's world and culture, the Urban Dictionary says being salty means to feel some type of way, to be mad or upset about something. In certain situations, people would say, oh man, she was salty about that. Oh man, he was salty about that. Oh, I was salty about that. And this is one of the many ways for us to see how God's kingdom and the ways of the world will always be completely different. God's way will always go against culture's definition for anything. Because if Jesus asks if you're salty, the answer should be yes. So we're going to start in the book of Matthew. And Matthew is the first book in the New Testament. It is one of three more that goes into detail about Jesus' ministry, his teachings, and his healings. And this one is from Matthew's perspective. So we are going to start in Matthew chapter 5, verse 1, the NIV version. And it says, Now when Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them the Beatitudes. He said, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So as I was reading, the Holy Spirit revealed to me that the Beatitudes are blessings promised. Blessed are the poor in spirit, and the promise, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn. The promise is for them to be comforted. So if you are looking for ways to be blessed, it's all right here. Are you humble? Are you meek? Are you pure in heart? Because those things are followed by the blessings promised that Jesus said that we could have. And now we are going to move down to verse 13. And it says, You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. Verse 14, You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So what is salt? Salt is something that's used to season food. You know, when you go to functions or the cookout, nobody wants to eat the dish that may not have enough salt in it. We may put a little bit on the plate, and, you know, if it isn't, you know, we'll fold it in half, and then we decide we're going to slide it in the trash. Salt is also used as fertilizer when you're planting things. I read that you can sprinkle salt in the soil and it helps the plants to grow a lot more healthier. And salt is also used to preserve things, to preserve food, meats, and canned goods. So here in verse 13, we have Jesus telling us that we should be the salt of the earth. And when I was studying, the Holy Spirit told me that being the salt of the earth in God's eyes is being what preserves God's way and his will in the earth. So that when people run into you, they say things like, I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's something different about you. I don't know what it is just yet, but there's something different about you. And that's salt. And the saltiness only comes from knowing Jesus. So how salty are you? Not culture's way of being salty, but God's way of being salty. As we usher in the new year, how salty will you be? And Jesus goes on to say in chapter 5, verse 14, You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. So when you're salty for Jesus, when you are salty for God's kingdom, everyone will know it. You can't hide it, and you shouldn't hide it. So when people run into you, talk with you, are you salty? Or do you walk around with the likeness of the world and everyone in it? Do they feel something different? Do they sense something different? Do they notice something different? Not because you're so cool and because you have such a great personality, and all of those things are good too. But do they sense something different because you have been in covenant with Jesus? So the question that we should ask ourselves is, am I salty? I want to be salty this year. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short video, and I will see you back next time.